Shabbat Shalom from First Yahudin Messianic Temple. I am a servant, Maria Simpson, and welcome again to First Yahudin Messianic Temple. And thank you for inviting us into your homes, into your cells, wherever it is that you're at. This is the day that the Most High has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Every day is a day of celebrating, a rejoicing. Why is that? Well, we're alive, we're breathing, we're healthy, we're living the life that we're supposed to live, and honestly and truly, and even if you're not, you're headed that way. Today's message is titled, Fear Not. I know I believe I brought this message a while back, and I believe it was called Fear versus Love. But this one is a little different, and I believe that the reason I bring in this again is because there's a lot of people that are living in fear. There's different types of fear. There's good fear and there's bad fear. There's the fear that if you are confronted by a wild animal, you're going to have fear, and your stress is going to go up, and you're going to say, okay, and then you say, am I going to fight or am I going to flight? And that's a fear. There's a fear like when you go to the dentist, when you jump from a parachute, when you go in front of an audience. But the fear that I'm talking about is not that type of fear. It's a fear that it paralyzes you. It's a fear that stops you from being the person that you are meant to be or were meant to be. In Isaiah 41:10, it is written, for Yahweh your Elohim will hold you, fear not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am your Elohim, or God. I will strengthen you, I will help you. Yeah, I will uphold you with my right hand of my righteousness. Now, when he is saying that he is going to hold us in his right hand, hands are meant for war. Hands are made for shaking, shaking each other's hand. And hands is when you hug, you pat somebody in the face, and when you comfort somebody with your touch. So he says that his hand is going to be with us. Okay. The Most High does not make mistakes. He does not make mistakes. He doesn't make wrongdoings. He is perfect in everything he does. And his promises are yes and amen. He will never leave you nor forsake you. No matter, even though you're going right now through something in your life that you don't feel very comfortable. You might feel that you're going through a fire. You might feel that you don't know what to do. But he says even though you're going through the fire, it's not going to burn you. You probably feel that you are drowning in the waters, maybe of difficulty. Maybe you're going through that. Maybe you're going through a wrong relationship or a bad relationship. Or maybe you're going through a divorce. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not drown. The flames will not consume you. Whatever it is that you need at the moment, the answer is found in the Creator. Every book that has been written and published, they all come from the Bible. Every one of them. because there's nothing new under the sun. Whatever we are feeling, whatever we are suffering, whatever we are hoping, he has something to tell us. He has something. He has the answer for us. Because see, we need a map. We need instructions. We need answers. And his answer, his word is the roadmap where we are supposed to go. For every problem, there's a solution. For every problem, there's a solution against your adversary. His light is the light that illuminates our darkness wherever we are. His word is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. And this is a prayer for you. Father, you know how scared we are sometimes, even when we hide it from those around us. Today, we offer you an offering of fear. I am putting them in your hands. Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Amen. This message is really offering the Most High an offering of fear. We need to offer our fear to him. Fear is something that we built, that we imagined, that we because everybody has different types of fear, but reality, what does fear look like? If I would ask you, what does fear look like? Where are you headed for? How important is your life to you? What is more important to you? What others people think of you, or what you believe about yourself? You made it this far. You made it up to today. But there's something inside of all of us that troubles us. So my question to you is, what is troubling you? Whatever is troubling you, you can trouble it 3 times worse back. Now, you are being tried in the fire. Because depending on what type of, what kind of gold you are you 10 carat, are you 20 carat, are you 50 carat? What type of gold are you? And right now, for some of you, and maybe all of you, you're going through something that you don't like. It is a troubled time, and really what it is testing your character. What is a character? It could be a cartoon character. But a character is your nature, is your mind, is who you really are. And a lot of you are being tried in the fire. And when you come out of the fire, if your character is not built the way it's supposed, you will go back into the fire. Because in the fire, in the furnace, is really where you are going to be, this is where you're going to be developed your character of who you are, what kind of power you possess, how important you are to the Most High and to yourself. There's nobody like you in this world. There will never be anybody like you in this world. Now, to help you, how can you tell when someone has good character or bad character. Okay? Character, your character, okay? Remember the Wizard of Oz? I believe there was a lion, there was a Tin Man, and there was a what? A scarecrow. All these three men, or these three characters, they were looking for. They were on a quest finding who they were, but they really didn't. They were not completely developed. I believe the Tin Man wanted. I think I hope I'm right, but he wanted the mind. He wanted the mind. I think it was the mind. Don't quote me on this, but I know that the lion wanted the courage. The other one, the Tin Man wanted. I think he wanted. I believe it was the mind, and I think the straw man wanted to be strong, something like this. Anyway, the three of them were on a quest to find who they were. They were missing things in their lives that they were not happy with. And of course, you have Dorothy, which really her main thing was really to go. She wanted to go to see the wizard. Okay, I'm going to see the Wizard of Oz. Okay, so they go there. And it's amazing on their way through the yellow brick road. They begin to do things in their lives that they never knew they could do. Because really they were trying to find themselves. And what happens is these circumstances that they were never really, they never thought they could confront. They confronted. So what happens to them, they begin to get character. Thinking that when they get to the wizard, that the wizard was going to do some kind of magic spell and so on and so on, and they were going to get it. And it's none of the above because they already had it. These experiences that they had in the yellow brick road is how they got developed. What happened with the lion? The lion had a fear. Roar. He had fear. Fear paralyzes you. Fear makes you immovable. Fear makes you see monsters where there's no monsters. And really, fear, the only way fear and the type of fear that I am talking about is a fear that we built in our own minds. That is it. And what happens when you begin to be in this fear? You get stuck in time. What am I talking about? Remember the movie The Time Machine? My husband said to me, I would love to have a machine that really can do that. And so I can go into a certain time in the past and see, and I say, yeah, that would be nice. But that movie, The Time Machine, really, The Time Machine is really explaining what our minds is. The time machine is our minds. The time machine, which is our minds, we can go to our past in our minds. We can go to the future, and we can live in the present through that time machine. But fears, there's a lot of people stuck in their past. They constantly are going in the time machine of their past, in the past through the time machine of their mind. Because the past and the future, the only place it exists is in our minds, nowhere else. And the reason that a lot of people do this is because they are not living in their present time. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered. No one was there. This is an inscription on the ancient mantelpiece in Hind's Head Hotel, Braid, England. Whatever is troubling you, you can trouble it back even worse. Why are you so unhappy? How does disappointment serve you? Did you know that you are the obstacle to your own happiness? Did you know that you are the one who is blocking yourself from the light? If you were in your deathbed right now, would fear concern you? Let me say that again. If you were in your deathbed right now, would fear concern you? If your answer is no, then why are you still fearful? And if your answer is yes, then you need to hear more messages like this. Reality is, what does fear look like? Does it have teeth? Is it a monster? I mean, is it different color? What does fear look like? What really is stopping you to advance for your happiness? What is stopping you? See, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. No, we're not inadequate. No. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Who am I? Who am I to be all these? Actually, who are you not to be? See, in order for you to confront fear in something that's happening in your life, and for fear to really dissolve, you need to confront that fear and you need to talk to that fear like you have never before. See, when I send you those little messages I do on Facebook, those little positive affirmations that I send, that is not for you just to read it. That is for you to read it, but for you to really let it go inside of you and believe what I'm sending to you. Because let me tell you this, honestly and truly. You are brilliant. You are beautiful. You are smart. There's nobody like you. And it doesn't matter, listen very carefully, it doesn't matter whether you're fat or skinny, whether you are bald-headed or maybe you have dreadlocks, whether you have teeth or whether you don't have teeth. It doesn't matter. It's what you believe. Let me tell you. You are so important. But see, it's not what I am saying to you that matters. It's what you believe that you are. Because you are. And why am I saying this? Because at one time I also had fear. Many times I have had fear, bad fear. And I'm talking about a fear that, oh, what are they going to think of me? Am I doing the right thing? Am I speaking the right thing? Since a lot of times I speak a lot of Spanglish. And sometimes maybe my words don't come out correctly. But my heart is there. And what happened is that I needed to confront that in order for me to excel in life. Do you know what it is? I mean, maybe some of you know, I don't know. But do you know what it is to be in front of 150 people? Hairdressers? And sometimes in 500 people? And you need to speak and bring a presentation really on what you know? That wasn't easy. I had to overcome that. And how I overcame that, I started looking at my body. I started looking at my hands. I started looking, my brain. I started looking at my feet because I said, you know what? Number one, I am not I'm not a Martian. I do have a brain. I do have hands. I do have feet. I do have this. I do have that. And I love and I have passion for what I do. And you know what? I have to overcome this fear because it was a fear that I needed to confront people in the sense like stand before people and bring a presentation. And then of course I did it in a way that it looks so natural. But in reality, just like everybody else, don't think that all these people that are speakers don't think that they get nervous. But what you do is you really look at all your abilities, you look at your character, you look at yourself and you believe who you are. And what happens is when you need to overcome that fear, you really have to stand before fear and says, you know what? I have to do it. I really have to do it because this is the only way. Because see, if we are waiting for fear somewhere along the way to leave, it's not going to happen. Until you make it happen. Okay? You are a child of God, Elohim. You were meant to shine. We all are meant to shine as children do. We are born to make and manifest the glory of the highest one, Elohim, God, that is within us. And this light and this power and this is illuminating power. It's not just in some people. It's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. We are liberated from our own fears. Our presence automatically liberates others. Now, this was in the Course of Miracles. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of dark. The real tragedy is when men are afraid of the lights. That is the fear that most people have. They are afraid to conquer. They are afraid to overcome. They are afraid because now they're going into something that they literally want, they have passion for, but they are afraid because it is scary. And did you know that you are equipped completely from your head to your toes with everything that you can overcome that? Because let me tell you, your dream cannot come, somebody else cannot make it so. You do. But fear gets in the way. And guess what? It's the fear that you took the time machine and you went back into time. The time machine. The mind is a time machine that we can go to different times in our lives. We can go to the future, we can go to the past, and we can stay in the present. And the problem is, when we go to the past, you will know the year, the date. You will feel everything that you went through because it's constantly going back. Why am I like this? Why can I be different? Why this? Only if, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? You keep on doing this because you're living in the past. And how do you overcome this? The past is in your mind. You cannot change the past. You can only change right now. Because whatever you choose now will determine your future. Remember, you're in your time machine. In your time machine, how many times a day do you stay in the present that you're going forward to the future? Or how many times do you stay in the present and you go back into the past? Maybe you had a lover that you were so fascinated with. Maybe there's something in the past that hurted you so much, and maybe you had a relationship that it wasn't good. Or maybe that you're married right now, and then you tell your spouse, you know what? Why did I marry you? I should have married Joe Small. You constantly bring in the past. Or if you tell your spouse, well, did you know what you did in the past? Why you want to bring this? If you know that you don't like it, then why you're constantly going there? This is why it's very hard for you to evolve, for you to change. Life is about changes. Life is to be better. Life is to really to enjoy the adventures of life. Because every day we wake up, we are not the same, but it's a new day. It's a resurrection day. Something good, a blessing is about to happen in your day today. But what happens? It's time to let go. It's time to say goodbye to all our family, which is called fear. Get rid of fear. What's stopping you? You needed to hear this. You know why you needed to hear this? Because people that constantly complain and complain and complain are still stuck somewhere. Just like a tire in a car when it gets stuck in the mud. Did you remember the movie The Time Machine? Every time that the modern one, every time he will go into the past because his fiancée killed her, he will go into the past in his time machine, which means his mind, and he will go because he wanted to make it different. And he will see her alive in his mind. And what happens, the same scenery, the same thing, she will always die. Because whatever happened there has to stay there. It's no longer there. It is somebody that dies. Somebody that dies is dead. You love them. You had great memories, but it's over. My dad died. I love my dad, but it's over. His time came to leave. And it's over. I will not make a shrine to my dad. And put a bunch of flowers and, this is awesome. And why? My dad is dead. And this happens. Why? Because if I don't do this because he's dead. Dead. And let me tell you, it hurted me a lot. My dad, the one that gave me life, he's no longer here. But I cannot continue that. My grandmother died. And it hurted me. But you have to continue. You have to evolve. You have to continue. And let me tell you, we are not proud of things that we've done in our past. A lot of us have done things that that we don't feel very hooray about. Okay? But you know what? That's the past. Learn from that. What can you learn from that? Learn to be better. Learn to love yourself. Keep on walking, keep on running, keep on jogging, keep on singing, keep on playing music. Because you are not dead. You are not in a cemetery. You're alive. And there's many things for you. Maybe at this moment you can't see that, I don't have the money, or I don't have the means, or this relationship's not going good, and I wanted to go to school, but it didn't. You know what? Stop with the if. And start with the now. I am. And what happens? Look at this. Your mind is like a recorder. You know a recorder? You know a recorder? You have a recorder. And in recorder, what do you have? You have rewind, you have play, and you got forward. Well, rewind is the past. Play is the present. and forward is the future. So you need to know what part in your brain, which is your recorder, what are you playing constantly?
Which button are you pressing?
Which button are you pressing? And by the way, I didn't even mention the pause button. The pause button. Because see, the pause button is the pause that if you go to rewind, you pause it. If you go to the future, you pause it. And if you go to the present, you pause it. What it means is you're not growing. You're stuck somewhere, and you're stuck somewhere in time. And let me tell you another thing. In this recording kind of thing, you either rewind, play, or forward. But also, in this recording, there's an on and off button. The on and off button is when you're born, and off is when you die. Okay? The time machine in your past is over. When you go there, you're going to something that is over. In your past, physically, you cannot go. You can only go to your past in your mind. In your mind. That's it. You can go only to your past, not physically. You go in your mind, which means you're rewinding to your past. In the future, you cannot also go in your physical being. You can only go there in your mind. The only time that you are present physically and spiritually in your mind is in the present time. And this is the time that you should be focused on, is being present. Stop worrying about that person or circumstances that you cannot change. At the end of the day, you can either focus on what is tearing you or what is holding you. What is holding you? What is the pillar? What is the column? What is the foundation that is holding you? These messages are not just for you to hear it. These messages are for you so it can go inside of you to make you better, a better person, a better mother, a better husband, a better person. Because you have desires, you have goals, you have dreams. My parents, my grandparents never sat with me and says, well, you have goals and you have dreams. Write them down and it's going to be okay. I was never raised in that kind of home, in a very nice home, but because they were not taught. But today we have this. And we learn from each other. And stop complaining. Stop saying only if and why me. I don't understand. When you stop going to the past, you will stop struggling. You will stop having pain. You will stop going back and rewinding the recording and going back and and then it sounds like a broken record, because you cannot change that. Go to a cemetery, go to any cemetery, and you're going to stand before any tomb, and you're going to make that person come out. You're gonna revive that person again. You cannot do that. That's what the past is. It's a cemetery that is gone. What's the future? Now we're rewinding in this recording, which is the time machine in our minds. We're going to the future. We're forwarding. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. We go there in days and weeks. We go there in months and years, because this is something that hasn't happened yet. Okay? It hasn't happened yet. Okay? Physically, we cannot go there. So you need the time machine, which is your mind. And you go forward, and guess what happens when you're in the recording? What happens when you push the forward button? What happens? It goes, it goes very quickly, right? Very quick. The same thing with our mind. And what happens is, now you go into the future, and what happens? Very simple. When you go to the future, you take your hands and you have the whole world in your hands, which means you have a bright future ahead of you. A very abundant, glorious, happy, loving, super fragilistic, espialidocious kind of deal future. But what happens is, if you're constantly thinking about the past and thinking about what you want in the future, and you're not doing anything in the present, you're not going to get anywhere. Because what's going to make it real is right now, is the present time, the present moment. We are the present. The present is a wall between the future and the past. This is sort of like the Red Sea. The present is the Red Sea. You know, when the Red Sea opened, you got the right side, which is the future. You got the left side, which is your past. But now the Red Sea, what happens? It's open, and it's dry land. And what happens? Now you're going to cross it. Yeah. Because this crossing, you're crossing to the other side of the ocean, which is the other side of your future. Because if you really look at it, look at how this works. The present moment that we live is the future that's the past. And the future of the past will be the future will be the past that is right now in our present. That's kind of complicated, doesn't it? It complicates it, but it's not.
Say that again.
Okay, she wants me to repeat it again. The present time right now, the present, is the future of our past. The future that is about to become, okay, when we get there, will be the past of today. And the only one that really matters is your present situation, your presence where you are right now. This is what you can change in your mind. This is what you can change in your physical body. This is what you can change everything. You learn from the past, and you incorporate it right now in the present, because now you're headed to the future. And the future, this is where you're aiming for, but you cannot aim from the past to the future, because it doesn't work. You have to aim from your present moment for whatever you have learned. And if you haven't learned anything, well, let me tell you, you know what? Then open your ears, because there's a lot of things that we have done that is really good, even if it was bad, that help us to get there. We have no excuse. Turn on YouTube, turn on Facebook, turn on whatever you want, because today, Google it. Today, everything is information. But see, information is to better ourselves. Knowledge is power. And the problem that's happening is that a lot of people don't want to put their minds to work, because it is work. It's work. A lot of people say, oh, well, you know, I don't want to get married because, you know, whatever. And I don't want to do this. Let me tell you this. There's nothing on earth that there's not hard work. Everything you do in life is hard work. And I don't mean only physical. I mean mental. Sometimes you need to create. Sometimes you need to read. Sometimes you need to put into action. So working really means that you have to work. And I mean mentally. Plan it, do it, write it down. What is this and that, and then put it into action. Put one foot in front of the other. Everything in life is about hard work. Even when you're speaking in front of an audience, like right now. You think I just sat here and I'm going to just sit here and I'm going to talk. No, I got to prepare myself. So mentally, physically, okay, I got to work. Because I got to prepare myself. So you need to prepare yourself for your future. You need to prepare yourself for what's coming for you, which is great. Okay? Now, the middle one, which is the middle wall, is the present. This is the one that opens the Red Sea. This is the one that, we're crossing, This one is the only one that is understood. Because both past and future can only go there spiritually or in the mind. In the present moment, you go there physically, spiritually, and in the mind. It's the only one. And this is the power that you need to use to overcome your adversities, your problems, your obstacles, your circumstances. It's in the present moment. The struggle you are in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. Let me say that again. The struggles that you are in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. In other words, you are being developed in the matrix. Mm-hmm. You are being developed for something greater than what you are. And fear cannot be your friend to go there. Because fear will destroy you. Fear will paralyze you. Fear will condemn you. Fear will judge you. Fear doesn't care about your about your happiness. Fear cares about your misery. Because misery loves company. And one of the things that fear wants the most is company. Yeah. And you are the only one that sits down with fear and you boo-hoo-boo and the mentality of victimizing and all this stuff. You know what? Get over yourself. It's time to be real. It's time to be real. It's time to get over the victim mentality and to get rid of fear, because you were not born with fear and you were not by the Most High, you were not given the spirit of fear, but you were given a spirit of power. When you are in the present time, in the present moment, in the momentum, you got power, because now you are physically, mentally, spiritually, you are here. And right now, this is the moment that you take control of your future and your past. When you are at this moment, you come to your senses that you refuse to hit the rewind button, to go back into the past. To what? This is the only time that we are present physically, spiritually, mentally, with love, with joy, with happiness. And whatever you feel now, whatever you determine now in this present will make up what you're going to be in the future. And fear, because We allow this fear to take over our minds. We get scared. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to say. How am I going to do this? I didn't went to school. My husband doesn't love me enough. She doesn't really talk to me enough. What's going on? And then you know what? You can write a book of all your complaints. But it's not going to take you anywhere because you'll be stuck. You'll be stuck, not in the present because you're not living in the present. You're living in the past. And it's up to you because it's a choice. It is a choice that he gives us. A choice. Life is a choice. Everything we do is a choice. The food we eat, the clothes we wear, the person we're going to get married with, how many children we're going to have, if I'm going to go to school, if I want the wisdom of the most, it is a choice. Life is a choice. The future happiness is a choice. The future misery is a choice. The past is a choice. Life, anything we do in life is a choice. You have a choice to be in the wrong relationship. You have a choice to get out of it. You have a choice to be happy because the only one that can make yourself happy, that can make your happiness is yourself. Not your mama, not your husband, not your wife, not your children, not bow wow, bow wow, bow wow. It is you and you alone. Because when you came into this world, you came by yourself. You hadn't, unless you're a twin. Okay? And you were pushing to come out. You were pushing because you wanted life. You wanted life. You wanted to live. You wanted life. And you struggled in that canal. And you know what? You don't have to struggle now because the struggling right now, you know what to do. It is up to you to do what is right. Or it's up to you to continue being wrong. It's up to you. Look at this. Out of these three, the past, the future, or the present, there's only one that is a gift. It's the present. The present is the only one that is a gift. Because the past is gone, the future is not here, and the only one that it really is the gift is the present moment. It is a gift. Every time that you wake up, it is a gift. Every time that you are present, it is a gift. Every time that you go to the future, you can think about your future and your dreams and your goals, and that's okay. But you cannot stay there all the time because just dreaming about it is not going to get you anywhere until you put it today into action. And the only gift that you have out of these three is the present. It is the present. True. It is the present. The past are experiences that you have had in the past to develop you, to develop your uniqueness, character, so you can cherish yourself. And how is that? Your mind. Your mind has been developed even inside the womb, outside the womb, and is still being developed. Because this is everything is here in the mind. What kind of quality are you? She wants to know what am I talking about? What kind of gold are you? Are you 22 karat? Okay? What quality are you? See, everybody is high quality. Premium quality. Because that's exactly how we were created. Premium quality. In other words, all of us are elites. But I can tell you, you're elite, you're premium, you're this, and you're not you're not unleaded, so to speaking. But it's not. When I say it, if you don't believe it, it's not going to work. Because faith comes from hearing. Fear comes from hearing. Beauty comes from hearing. And then you believe. What is it that you believe about you? What is it that you believe about you? Are you trying to imitate somebody that you're not? A character is the individual's patterns of behavior and personality. when you decide to want to go to the past or to the future, just take a ride on your time machine. It's called time machine. Time, you sit on your machine, which is your brain, your mind, and you go there. The problem with many people is that they are stuck in the past and have a hard time being in the present and don't know what to be in the future. They're lost somewhere in time. They are physically living now, but they are stuck mentally in their past. They are stuck in the time machine of their past life. Stuck in memories of pain. Stuck in suffering. In the what ifs, the mental, physical, sexual abuse, wrong relationship, drugs, caffeine, alcohol, sexual addiction, insecurities, low self-esteem. You get the idea, don't you? When you constantly are thinking all these things and you haven't been healed, you cannot advance in the future. Even though you're living it now, even though you're alive now, but see, physically you're there, but you're not there mentally. And this is what needs healing. This is what fear is a destruction force. It's an adversary. And we are the ones that build this fear, or we are the ones that build a blessing or love. See, this is why love, when I talk about love, it's a force that when you are in this love, that cannot come in, a negative force cannot come in inside your mind. Love conquers everything, even death. Somebody can be in their deathbed and all of a sudden you see everybody that loves you. Did you know that sometimes people have come out of death situations because their loved ones are around them? When you are constantly are thinking what happened and the if and the whys and all this stuff in the past, not only will you not advance in life to the future, but you are going to be enslaved by these memories. You're going to have shackles and chains on your legs and your hands and your ear and all this. Because this is not freedom. This is slavery. How do you erase the painful memories of your past? You must make a decision to want to change yourself. If every day you wear black, today you're going to make a decision that you're going to wear different colors. And you need to come to say, enough. I had enough with this. I can't continue like this in my life. I see people that are happy. I want to be happy too. I see successful people, happy people, joyful people. I see people that sing. I see Maria. She's always laughing. I want to laugh like Maria. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to be happy. What is it that they are doing and I'm not doing? What is it that Maria is doing and that I'm not doing? Well, let me tell you what Maria is doing. Maria, number one, is not living in her past. Her past is gone. Maria, every single day, I wake up and I say if today was the last day in my life, what would I do different? Would I see the sunshine more sunny? Where I see light? I will be different. And then what happens is, and also the Most High I believe in God. I believe in Elohim. I really do. He's always been there for me. He's never abandoned me. He's always on time. He's never early. He's never late. He's always on time. And you know what? All his attributes are inside of me. He doesn't talk or think about the future and says, well, you need to go back to the future. To the past. So why should I? What does Maria do? Maria wakes us every morning with an attitude of happiness, of joy. I go out on my porch and I begin thanking him the things that I have. I'm surrounded by nature. I'm surrounded by beauty. I have a home. I have a family. I have my children, my grandchildren. I have the word. I have you guys. This is every day. I don't talk about the ugliness, things that I don't want in my life, because if I don't want the things in my life, why should I talk about them? And what happens is the adrenaline begins to change in my life. I begin to go with that. So I begin to be in a happy high. I begin to be happy high. I begin to be high happily. Without drugs, just on life. Then people see me and say, what kind of funny cigarettes have you been smoking today? No, I don't smoke cigarettes. Believe me, I don't mix alcohol because I'm allergic. I'm on life. And you know why? Because of everything that I've gone through in life. I have learned from my mistakes. I have learned from my experiences. I have learned from my past. I have learned that I cannot continue being in fear, because fear paralyzed me in a sense that I can't move. Fear makes you sometimes even, I'm telling you because it happened to me, that you want to commit suicide. Because fear has many avenues. And I will refuse for that, because you know what? I did not give my life to myself. He did. He did. Not my parents. My parents were vehicles. My parents were vessels that he used so he can give me life through my parents. And when you are connected to love, when you are connected to nature, when you are connected to beautiful things, when you are connected and you see beauty, you don't see ugliness anymore. And it feels great and it feels awesome. And this is why I bring these messages, because my life has changed completely. Because I too used to say, oh, today I'm serious. I used to cry in front of my husband, oh, honey, I'm going to die soon. Because I was petrified of death. Until, you know what, and I do this every so often, and honestly, you know what would happen to me? I will get sick, and I will go into a hospital. Because whatever you think in your mind, it will come to pass. And I said, enough. Enough, and you know what? I still have people that criticize me, and people, I don't care. Apparently, I got something that they don't have. Because if you have to spend the time talking about somebody, and you have a lot of problems, then that person has something that you want that you can't have. And it doesn't bother me anymore. This is why I bring these messages. Because let me tell you, it has changed my life. It has changed who I am. I love who I am. And let me tell you, I am not perfect. Believe me, I am not perfect. But I love life. I love my life. I love my children. I love what I have. Everything, including even difficult people. Because those difficult people are teaching me something about life. If you spent more than 2 hours thinking about your past mistakes or events, it is an unmistakable sign you need to change your attitude towards the past and start living in the present. If you right now listening to me and you're thinking about what you're going to eat in an hour, what you're going to watch TV, or you're not living in the present. You're really living in the future and living in the past. And you're living in the present. It means that you're paying attention to what is being said. Attention because you want your life to change. Attention so you can be better. A better person, a better father, a better mother, a better human being, so your life can be rich in abundance, in abundance, in everything that you want to see abundance. Health, prosperity, happiness, relationship, love, attention, whatever abundance means to you. When you pay attention with both of your ears, not that you pay attention to one ear and then it goes out the other. That's not paying attention. That's hearing. There's a difference between hearing and attention. Hearing, let me tell you, hearing, we are born with hearing. Attention, paying attention is a skill that you need to master. You need to learn. We were not born listening. We were born hearing. And that is the difference. And if you learn to pay attention so your life can be better, you will see the difference in your life. You will see the difference in your future. You will live the present. You are going to be more joyful. You are going to be more happy. You are going to be like never before. And don't tell me that you're sick and you're dying, because you know what? I went through that too. And look at where I'm at. Because I said, I am not going to die today. Today is not my day to die. Because if I was 20 years old. Today is not my day to die. And look at where I'm at. You create your future. You create your present. You do not create your past. You learn from your past as mistakes. You learn from those experiences. And you better yourself. You take it in and you say, well, what do I need to do that I learned from my past to get better? Now, watch this. And you need to come to yourself and say, I want to change this. What is it in your life that you want to change now? What is holding you back? Losing weight? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Eating chocolate donuts and eating this and eating that is not going to help you. And nobody can do exercise for you. Nobody can lose your weight. Nobody. Because if you're going to hire somebody like a trainer so they can get on the treadmill so they can lose your weight, do you think that's going to happen? No. That's idiotic. That's crazy. Life is so short that I know for sure that you have more important things to do. Think about lots of goals, things that you want to achieve, things that you want to change your relationship. Instead of thinking constantly about fear, the past, don't you have a lot of plans for the future? I'm sure you do. Just look at me as a coach. I am your coach, and I am coaching you and guiding you. I'm not telling you what to do. I am coaching you with questions, helping you so you can get to the other side of the Red Sea. And the other side of the Red Sea is your future waiting for you, that when you get there, that you are about to receive a humongous blessing. You will get there and you will shout, you will scream, you will jump up and down, you will sing, and you will praise Him like never before. As a man thinks in his mind, so is he. Let me tell you something, because I gotta go. When you decide to let go of fear in your mind, and I did it this morning, and you begin to think of a rainbow, okay? A rainbow has many colors. And if you notice, a rainbow does not have the color black. And it does have the color white, because white is when you mix all the colors and all the colors of the rainbow, and white appears. So anyway, think of a rainbow in your mind. And I'm going to break it down to you, these letters. A rainbow, number one is the letter R. Rejoice. Rejoice. Why do you need to rejoice? You're alive. You're kicking. You're breathing. You're a machine. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. It's a choice. You should rejoice because He, the Most High, has given you a power. Has given us a power to choose today what we want. Do we want to be blessed, or do we want to be cursed? Do we want life, or do we want death? Do we want to be in the light, or do we want to be in darkness? Do we want to be in prosperity, or do we want to be in poverty? Do we want to be mean, or do we want to be kind? It is a choice, and rejoice, because one very powerful thing that He's given us is a choice. Number two, the second letter of rainbow is A, abundance. Every day there's an abundance waiting for you to go to the tree of life and take the highest fruit. Abundance of health, abundance of your relations, abundance of money, abundance of joy, abundance. So really, rejoice in the abundance that He has given you. Now this is in the rainbow in your mind. Okay, when you're in the present. Rainbows do not appear in the past. No, rainbows appear only in the present moment. What's the next letter? I. Illuminating. Your mind, every time you have an idea, it is illuminating your thoughts, it's illuminating your future, it's illuminating for you to have creative ideas, it's illuminating what you need to do. It is a light that is on, and you begin to focus on, you begin to plan, you begin to write, you begin to say, oh my goodness, this is what it begins to lighten your way, lighten your road. It begins to lighten because light comes through the eyes. It begins to light your whole being in the moment. So reality is, rejoice with abundance, illuminating. Now watch this. The fourth letter is N. It's network. Network. There's different types of network. There's different types of network, of people that you are going to be connected to that is going to help you. One, for me, is the Bible. Is the Word. Is the Torah. Okay? Other people He will send in my ways, other networks. People that have gifts, they're going to help me. Okay? So network. So really is rejoice in the abundance of the illuminating networks of neurons. Okay? And then the B is brain. The brain is your time machine. The brain is the most powerful thing that you have in your body, that you have to create whatever it is that you want. You can create, you can destroy, you can be happy, you can be sad, whatever. The brain will bring it to you because the brain sends out signals of energy to the universe, to everyone, including to Elohim. And what happens? It will bring you what you are asking the most every single day, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. Rejoice in the abundant, illuminating network of neurons in your brain, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. The sixth letter O. Operating. How are you operating now? How are you operating? What are you using in your body, in your mind? What are the buttons? What are you operating? What are you using for your plans? What are you using? Are you using let's say psychologist? Are you using coaching? Are you using the word? Are you using positive energy, negative energy? What are you operating in your life right now? Who are you connected to? Who is helping you to achieve a better person, so you can be a better person, so you can achieve your desire, so you can be in the abundance? What are you operating with? Who is your buddy? Who is your buddy that really wants your well-being? Because not everybody is operating the same way.
Yep.
Rejoice in the abundance illuminated network of neurons in your brains that's operating. And the last one, the last and not least, seventh word, is wonderful. Wonderfully. Elohim is wonderfully created, everything, awesomeness, even though that's not a word. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. And you know this very well. The word wonderfully is the word awesome, tremendous, unstoppable, okay? Admirable, lovable, powerful. This is you. Because this is the rainbow. This is instead of using fear, you use the rainbow. This is the light of the promise that Elohim gave Israel. The covenant that he will never destroy the earth with a flood. He brought the rainbow. He brought the light. He brought the colors. Every color has a meaning, has a code. So if I were to take the word rainbow, this is what it means. Rejoice in the abundance of illuminated networks of neurons in your brain operating inside of you wonderfully.
Network? N is network?
Well, I'll tell you in a second. Let me say it again. Rejoice in the abundance illuminated networks of neurons in your brain that's operating wonderfully in your life. That is when you are in the present and not in the past, and not in the future, in the present. This is when you are going to receive the power from heaven, the power that is around the nature, that the energy is going to overtake you and is going to lift you up with the power and the anointing that you never thought you had, and you do. And it's going to take you exactly the same way Israel came out, walked in the middle of the ocean, of the Red Sea, to the other side of where you're supposed to be. He will defend you with his loving arms. He will hold you at all times. Empty your mind of negative thought. Empty your mind of the past and fill it with divine love. Stop opening the door to the enemy. Be always who you are, all the time. Whether you are bald-headed, you're missing teeth, one-eye jack, you have a speech impediment, maybe you're overweight, underweight, or whatever. You are unique, you're beautiful, you are unbelievably powerful. Spread your wings and let your uniqueness shine through. You are like no other person. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are unstoppable. You are breathtaking. You are smart. You are intelligent and you matter. Don't give up the right to be happy. Make your dream happen today. Why? As a man thinks in his mind, in his or her mind, so is he or she. Be blessed today in his divine presence. With love, Maria.
Jack Sparrow.